If there is one trick or skill that has saved me multiple times from embarrassing myself on stage, it's going to be this particular one that I'm showing you guys today. And honestly, the reason I'm making this video is because I thought to myself that if more drummers had access to this kind of information and knowledge, a lot of mistakes that are made on stage would be drastically reduced. And a lot of students in my private lessons have benefited from this particular thing. So you know it's really special. So get on your drums, your drum pads, and let's learn something new today. So the trick we're learning today, I know you're wondering what it is already, is one that will stop your weaker hand from messing up your performances and turning that same weaker hand into something you can always use to cover up for unexpected mistakes that will definitely happen during performance. So the solutions I'm going to share with you guys are into 3 stages. Stages 2 and 3 depend on stage 1. So we're going to start from stage 1, which is increasing the speed of your weaker hand and strengthening it. Now that's very important because we need to strengthen our weaker hand for what is coming in stages 2 and 3. So if I had to give you just 2 exercises that are going to really transform your weaker hand, I'm assuring you it's going to work because these are things that worked for me. It's going to be these 2. The first one being my all-time favorite that I've used to improve my weaker hand and that of a lot of my students. And it is something you've seen on this channel a lot. It is right, left, left. You see that? Speed it up gradually. Start very slowly and keep doing this until you begin to feel your left hand burning. Do you understand? So left-handed people can do. So try to do this for at least 10 minutes every day, and in 14 days you'll see how much better your weaker hand has gotten. So the next one I'm going to show you is one I think everybody knows, but a lot of people don't just know how powerful this simple rudiment can be, which is the double stroke roll. We have. So when you're doing your double stroke roll, it's just like what we did in the previous one. Avoid doing things like, see, boss rolls. It's double stroke rolls, but it's too weak. So do it fast and loud. If you're practicing with me right now and you do this you can stop this video, pause it, and do this for just 40 seconds. And you see how you're going to feel some burning around your wrists. Do you understand? So if you do that for a period of time, you see how your hand is going to grow. And a bonus for this session, if doubles feel easy for you, you can go to triples or 4 notes per each hand. So go to 4. So now for the next stage, we're going into the part that actually saves me a lot of times. And we're transcending from speed into agility. You might wonder if they're the same thing, but they're not. So speed, I've said it many times in my video, speed is, how fast you can move on a particular surface. But agility has to do with how fast you can move around different surfaces. Do you get that? So I want you to take a look at this particular video. So if you notice, I was keeping a groove one-handed, and mind you, I wasn't doing that to show off, because this is what one-handed show off should look like. Now, this is the reason why this particular thing is very important. There are definitely situations that would arise when you're playing that would warrant you at some point to play one-handed. For myself, I sweat a lot. Do you get? So when I sweat, I have to get my face towel and clean my face sometimes with my right hand because I don't want my sweat to drop in my glasses. So when that is happening, I have to keep my grooves going with one hand. Aside sweating, there are a few occasions where 1 or 2 things might just occur, like your sticks falling off or 1 or 2 things falling off, and you need to keep the groove going whilst picking it up. So how do you keep it going properly without letting the music suffer? So there, I think I was doing something like this. We had a groove that was going like this. So you see what is happening there? But that might be quite difficult to start from. Do you get? So let's start with something quite basic that you can use in scenarios like this. So a basic funk groove can be this. So as to play that one-handed, it's going to be. Are you seeing the motion? It might not come naturally, but please, you need to work on this. So if you get that one, you can also move on to the next thing where we can have, a group of 3 notes on the hi-hat now for the same groove now. See how it should sound when you have your both hands. So bear in mind, you might not be able to hit every note, but you hit every note that matters when you're using just one hand. So this is how it should sound. So at the end, you notice I did some fills. So to build that flexibility around with your weaker hand, you can just do simple exercises like the double stroke. So it can even help you play fills, you get? You see that? So take these things and practice them. Don't do them for just a few minutes and leave them. Keep them consistent. Over time, you build the muscle memory that is required to get your left hand involved when you're playing. Now on to the third and final step in this whole thing, which is the main thing actually that brought about this whole video. And by the way, if you're enjoying this video, please smash that like button, subscribe, and if you care to support what we do here on this channel, there's going to be a link in the comment section. You can click on that and support what we do here. So on to the third thing I was talking about. We're going to be learning how to take what we learned from stage 1 and stage 2, the speed and the agility, to make our drumming mistake and fatigue proof. I'll explain what I mean by that. There are times where you're playing. For myself, I often play African grooves. You get, and there's situations where you keep your right hand, for instance, on the right cymbal here, and you keep playing for a very long time. So, for instance, let me use a particular groove like this. But sometimes you play this groove so fast that if you play for 20 minutes, your hand is going to start burning. So now, in some situations, your hand gets so weak and you cannot continue. So what do you do to still keep the main rhythm of the groove going on? You can switch to your hi-hat. Do you get? I do this a lot. So you switch and take that pattern you were playing on your right cymbal to your hi-hat, and you're playing to your left hand now. You see? So we have something like this. So that was just more like a demonstration. It's not limited to African grooves. This applies in every scenario, but it takes a while to get it. And let me explain how you can actually get this thing. So the first step towards mastering things like this is the part that many people don't look at, which is the mental part of it. Now, I've said this before in one of my videos. I said, when you're trying to get your weaker hand, the hand that you don't use often, into your playing, what is happening here most times is, it's not like your right hand is stronger than your left hand most times. It's not just trained to work like your right hand. You've been using your right hand or your main hand all your life. Do you understand? And then you keep the other hand just by the corner. One thing you can do to start getting that hand very involved is try to start using that left hand to do normal chores. I've said this many times, I'm going to keep saying it. Get this hand in normal chores. Try doing the dishes, try writing with your left hand. It might not be perfect, but what you're doing is you're alerting your brain that we're trying to start using this left hand to do a lot of things. So when you play, you get to a point where you discover your left hand. For me now, there's some things my left hand can do better than my right hand. What's the reason? I started getting my left hand involved. This mental part is more important than most of the physical parts that you see all the stickings and everything. They're very important. But for you to get them properly, you need to get to the point where your brain understands that this left hand is no longer just there as a weaker hand. We want to get it very, very involved in what we do. Do you understand? Now, when you've gotten that fixed, what you can do as regards to physical activities, you can pick things like rudiments and start them with a left hand lead or weaker hand lead. So if you are right-handed, you can pick your single paradiddle. Instead of doing, start with your left hand. You know, orchestrate your rudiment with your left hand more. There's something he just does. If you tried this with me right now, if you tried it, you would have noticed that it's a little bit unusual. But if you try it over time, you make yourself so ambidextrous that you can use both your right hand and your left hand whenever you want to use them. Besides the single paradiddle, you can even do things like the 6-stroke roll. So you see the things I've shown you guys in this video. It might seem easy for some of you, it might seem quite difficult for some of you. But the truth is, if you practice these things consistently, over time, it will look like you have 2 right hands. You don't have any weaker hand. You get. And most of the mistakes that come with having a weaker hand will just disappear from your playing. So get back to practicing, and I will see you in the very next video. Peace, guys.